Hello everyone, I am the Enthusiastic Futurist, and today we are going to talk about climate change. In this video, we are going to discuss steps that you can take to help save the environment from this ever-increasing issue that we face every single day. Climate change is real. It has already had some major effects on the environment. If we don't do something soon, areas of the world will become uninhabitable, and the world that we know and love today will be gone, and the damage is irreversible. The main areas of change that we're going to focus on today are household energy usage, transportation, and trash. In households across the country, the average American uses approximately 900 kilowatt hours of energy per month. In order to get a sense of how much energy this is, know that it would take 731 pounds of coal to produce this much energy. This clearly has a large effect on global warming, especially since there are millions of Americans in America, each using this energy. As such, we can see that we cannot use coal as our primary energy source. On top of all that, coal is not a renewable resource, and the process of mining coal endangers those workers. The solution? Renewable energy. Of course, you can't put a hydroelectric dam or a windmill farm in your backyard, but you can put solar panels on your roof. If you think about it, solar energy is perfect. Collecting it takes almost no space, and it is not going to run out for billions of years. After the initial install, there is almost no money that you need to spend in order to maintain the solar panels. There are some downsides to solar energy, however. They only work during the day, and if it is cloudy, they don't produce as much energy as if it was sunny. However, you can also purchase a battery backup system that stores the energy that your solar panels produce until you use it. This is especially useful because most of the electricity used in the United States is used at night. And if you produce more energy than you use, you can sell some of that energy back to the grid and to make money. So, by installing solar panels, you can create your own energy in a way that does no harm to the environment. However, the installation of solar panels is quite expensive, and if you are not financially ready for such an investment, or if you live in a place such as an apartment where you simply cannot get solar panels on your roof, just be conscientious about how much energy you are using. In some areas, you can pay a few extra cents for an electricity plan where the electricity comes from renewable resources. Even then, in the United States, the percentage of energy produced for the grid that comes from renewable resources grows every year. Transportation is one of the leading contributors to climate change worldwide. There are approximately 1.2 billion cars on the road in the world today. One of the best ways that you can reduce your carbon footprint in this regard is to not drive at all, but rather walk or ride a bicycle on short trips. However, this still leaves, on average, several thousand miles of driving left. Investing in an electric car is a great way to eliminate any warming caused by your driving. Well, not exactly, because depending on where your electricity comes from, you could be causing just as much warming as a gas car. If your electricity comes from fossil fuels, then you are moving your carbon footprint to a different location. This is also known as offsetting your carbon footprint. But if your electricity comes from renewable energy, such as solar or wind, then electric cars deal no harm to the environment. And if you have solar on your house, then you don't have to pay nearly as much for electricity. However, electric cars are still quite expensive, and some people cannot afford it. But as battery and motor technology grows, experts predict that the cost of electric vehicles will go down significantly. Even then, investing in a fuel-efficient gas-powered car can go a long way, and will help your wallet, especially if you live in a city such as San Francisco, where gas prices are as high as $4.79 a gallon. It's ridiculous, right? Even if you don't want to get a new car, or you don't even have a car, a great way to lower your carbon footprint is to take public transportation. In a lot of cities, public buses are 100% electric. Even if you take a train, the amount of pollution from the train is split among the hundreds or thousands of riders, meaning your carbon footprint is less. Also, most subways and trams are electric, and many riders use them. Another reason to take public transportation is that it is often cheaper than owning and maintaining a car. It will also decrease the number of cars on the road, which will reduce traffic. Thus, increased use of public transportation will lead to less cars on the road, which will lead to less pollution from transportation. Every week, your local trash truck comes around and picks up your trash from the bins. Do you ever wonder where all that trash goes? In most cities and states, your trash goes into landfills. This is a giant hole in the ground lined with plastic. Over the next weeks, trash trucks dump their collected trash into the landfill. When the landfill is filled, the local city seals it up and waits for it to decompose. It takes around 1,000 years for plastic landfills to decompose. Think about that. It will be 3019 by the time that the landfill is decomposed fully. So, what can you do about this? Well, the obvious way is to have less trash. But how can you do that? For starters, you can recycle more. A surprising amount of things that are usually characterized as trash can be recycled. However, on the converse, some things that you would think are recyclable are actually trash. One example of this is an empty chip bag. The reason for this is that the inside is made of foil or metallized polypropylene. Recycling items that are not recyclable can sometimes lead to the whole batch of recyclable goods being rejected. So do your city and your neighbors a favor, and if you are unsure, check if an item is recyclable or not before recycling it. Also, if the item is recyclable, but has food residue, it is not recyclable. For example, an unused pizza box is recyclable, but after it has been used, the box contains some pizza grease. This makes it not recyclable. However, since the box is made of cardboard, it is also compostable, so you can start a compost pile. You can also put food scraps and paper in the compost. You can use your compost as nutrients for your garden, if you have one. Also, you may even be fortunate enough to live in a city that collects your compost, which helps local farmers. But there is one thing that is better than trash, recycling, and compost, and that is reuse. If you can reuse things, you keep them out of landfills, and less of them have to be produced. For example, you go to the grocery store and buy some groceries. You leave with your groceries in a plastic bag. Now, if you bring that plastic bag to the grocery store the next time you shop, you prevent one plastic bag from being produced, which prevents some emissions from being released into the atmosphere. You have just reused a plastic bag. So, in conclusion, you can mitigate your effect on climate change by regulating your household energy usage, possibly investing in solar panels, considering an upgrade to a fuel-efficient or electric car, using public transportation if available, and prioritizing reuse over recycle over landfill. Thank you for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, please subscribe to be kept up to date on all my future videos. I try to publish once a week. For now, I am the Enthusiastic Futurist, and I will see you in another video.